पाश्चात्य देशतारिणीं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna everyone. So we are trying to summarize some chapters of the fifth canto. So today I will try and cover 4 or 5 chapters, and then maybe in the next class we will do more. But over the course of next few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we will try and summarize entire fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a good idea to attend and catch up if you missed something in the past. Okay, so let me bring up the screen. So I'll bring up the screen, then that becomes easy. Are you able to see my screen, Bhagavatam family tree?
Yes, Prabhuji, we are.
Good. Okay, so we'll keep it simple. So we know that Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna tells in the Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva vajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So I am the source of both spiritual and material world. I'm source of everyone, every being, whether it is moving or non-moving. So everything starts from Krishna. So Lord Brahma appeared, and of course, through Garbhodaksa Vishnu. So in this day of Brahma, the first Manu is Swayambhu Manu. So in one day of Brahma, there will be 14 Manus, and currently we are in the 7th Manvantara. There will be 14 such Manus. We are in the 7th Manvantara, and the current Manu is the son of Sun God. His name is Vivaswan. So, but the first Manu in this day of Brahma was Swayambhuva Manu. He appeared from Lord Brahma, and he got married to Shatarupa. And so they had 5 children altogether, 3 daughters, namely Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti. So Devahuti, if you remember well, we discussed Devahuti in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in detail. And Prasuti was about Prasuti and Akuti we did in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So after describing the lineage of the daughters of Swayambhu Manu, then the description about the lineage of sons, 2 sons of Swayambhu Manu were given. So Priyavrata, he was a prince, royal prince, but he was not interested in engaging in the, Even ruling also, he thought it's material, and initially he was completely detached. He just left for the forest. Imagine these days, royal prince giving up all the opulences and going to the forest for meditation. That was his nature. So then Uttanapada, he became the ruler, and um, this description of Uttanapada lineage was also given in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We studied this. Uttanapada had two wives, Suniti, Suruchi, and Suniti had a son named Dhruva. We studied the pastime, Dhruva Maharaj's story of Dhruva Maharaj in detail. How we left for forest and performed austerity, pleased Lord Vishnu. And so after Uttanapada, Dhruva Maharaj, then Dhruva Maharaj had two sons actually, Vatsara and Utkala. But Utkala was not interested in ruling the kingdom. So Vatsara took over. From Vatsara, several, kings came. And eventually in that lineage, we studied about King Anga. He was a very, very pious king. And however, he had a terrible, cruel son named Vena, if you remember well the story. And Vena was killed by the saints, just because he was so cruel. He used to kill children while playing. He was just killed by the saints, uttering, just kill this guy, like that, high words. And they churned the body of King Vena. So from the body of King Vena, dead body of King Vena, Maharaj Prithu came. We studied Prithumara's story in detail in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that lineage goes further. And in that lineage, we studied about King Prachina Barhi. This is Barishat is called sometimes. In the lineage of Prithu Maharaj, we studied quite a bit about Prachina Barhi. He's also called Barishat. He had 10 sons, namely Prachetas. They're collectively known as Prachetas. We discussed the story as well, how they met Lord Shiva. And Prachetas had a son named Daksha. And this is the third birth of Daksha, if you remember well. He offended Lord Shiva, and his head got cut off, and he got the second birth with the goat head. To nullify that offense, again he was given another chance. So he was begotten by Prachetas, Daksha, and Dakshas had many sons, but Narada Muni, Narada Muni was so good. He preached them, and they became sannyasis. 10,000 Arvyashas. What is that? Hari, Hari, Hariyashwas and 10,000 Savalashwas. So they became all sannyasis. No ruler. No ruler. I hope you are following me. You are with me. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So which dynasty, which one we described now? Uttanapada, right? The lineage of Uttanapada, who is the son of Swayambhu Manu, who is in turn is the son of Lord Brahma. So what happens when there is no ruler? When there is no ruler, there will be problems in the society. Okay? So, and then what to do? What to do now? Any idea? What they've done?
They asked Priyavarta to come
Ah,
and take over.
right. Where did Priyavrata? So in the lineage Uttanapada, so now no descendant now to rule the kingdom. So what they've done is that's when our fifth canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, begins. Okay, let me share the screen. So Priyavrata, so this is Priyavrata. And Priyavrata accepted Narada Muni as his guru. And you have Swayambhu Manu and Lord Brahma. So they both, when Swayambhu Manu, immediately he requested Priyavrata to take charge of ruling the kingdom. But however, Priyavrata Maharaj, he was not at all interested because he got detached from these worldly matters, left for the forest, Priyavrata Maharaj. But however, his grandfather, father's father is Swayambhu Manu, and Swayambhu Manu's father is Brahma. Brahma also came and said that no, you must accept the throne and rule the kingdom as a service to the Lord. And King Indra also pleaded, Priyavrata Maharaj, please, accept the kingdom and rule. So, although he was in the renounced order of life, he came back and he entered into Grihasthashram. So this is a little bit, Parikshit Maharaj was a little bit shocked. How come, he actually renounced the material world, left for the forest for self-realization, then came back. What is this? And the answer Shukadeva Goswami gives was that he came and he accepted this service for the pleasure of the Lord. So recently one devotee was asking me a question. Prabhu, should I become a brahmachari? Should I become a grihastha? People are telling me that brahmachari ashram is the best compared to the grihastha ashram, householder life. Then I quoted this Priyavrata Maharaj story. I said that he left for the forest. He accepted renounced order of life, but he came back and accepted the throne. And he also got married. He had 2 wives and had altogether 14 children, 1 daughter, 13 sons. So the point here is that it's a very, very, very important point and very practical point. What is the practical point? Can anybody tell me here what is the most important point here? Yes, Arya Devi?
Like the point of your life isn't to like, well, it is about following your nature, but it's to use that in order to serve Krishna. It's the point of your life is for Krishna's pleasure, not your own. So
This is it. You nailed it. I can't put it in any better words. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he composed a song in which he says, "My dear brother, whether you live in the forest or in the town, your only business is to serve Krishna. Your only business is to chant the names of the Lord." He says, Sada Hari. You chant the name of Lord Hari, whether you are in the forest or whether you are a householder. Gruhe take, one take. So whether you are in the household or in the forest. So the point here is that it's not just merely abstaining from the material world, one can achieve perfection. No. Or just by being in the material world, one can achieve perfection. Neither way. But the main thing is in either cases, one should serve the Lord. One should think of Lord. So this is a very practical point. Just see, service is so important that Priyavrata Maharaj gave up his renounced order of life and accepted Grihastha to serve. See the point here, service is so important. So sometimes, you also see there is a higher cause here. Seniors were requesting you to do service. His father was a great devotee, Swayambhu Manu. And his great grandfather was Lord Brahma. They were requesting to do the service. So Priyavrata Maharaj, that's why he accepted it. And I just want to read maybe one point here. Prabhupada writes, actually, there is one important point here. Family life is compared to a fortress for practicing sense control. When the senses are controlled, one may live either at home or in the forest. There is no difference. So this is an important point for all of us. So service is very important than anything else. And here Priyavrata Maharaj had accepted that service. Okay. And let me go back and share the screen. Okay, so Priyavrata Maharaj, as I mentioned, he had 2 wives. Through these wives, he begot 13 sons, 10 sons and 1 daughter from first wife, and 3 sons from the second wife. So out of, daughter anyway, she has to get married. And out of 13 sons, 3 became sannyasis and 3 became manus. And the 7 became rulers of the 7 islands. So what Maharaj Priyavrata, what he had done was, he did not, let me rephrase. So he divided the entire Bhumandala into 7 oceans and 7 islands. Hmm. Um, what happened was, um, at the time of Maharaj Priyavrata, um, one portion of the Bhumandala was um, was was not getting light. I mean, um, yeah. So if the sun is on one side, the other side will be dark. Only on the on the side where sun is there, that part of the Bhumandala used to get the light. So anyway, Maharaj Priyavrata, he basically became the second sun. So if the original sun is here, and then he's running, he's there on the opposite side, and if the sun is moving, he's also moving, right? So that way, there was light throughout the Bhumandala, always, as long as Priyavrata Maharaj ruled the Bhumandala. So at the time of Priyavrata Maharaj, you can see that the entire Bhumandala was only one portion. There were no divisions, it looks like. Because Priyavrata Maharaj is the one who, with his chariot wheels, he had such a big chariot. Can you imagine? And he made 7 ditches, and with so, and in that there are various oceans form. Hmm? Um, and that's how the entire Bhumandala has been divided into 7 oceans and 7 islands. So if you go back uh, to what we had discussed, out of 13 sons, 3 became sannyasis, accepted the renounced order of life, and another 3 became manus. So that's 6. Then you had 7 sons. He had 7 sons. So the remaining 7 sons became the rulers of these 7 islands of the Bhumandala. Hmm? So this is what mentioned. And after that, Priyavrata Maharaj, um, so what did he do? He, um, by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maharaj Priyavrata reawakened to his senses. He divided all his earthly possessions among his sons. He gave up everything, including his wife, with whom he had enjoyed so much sense gratification, and his great and opulent kingdom. He gave up his wife, he gave up his opulent kingdom, and he completely renounced all attachment. And his heart, having been cleansed, became a place of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he was able to return to the path of spiritual life, and attained, he went back to Godhead. Mm. So, this is about Priyavrata Maharaj. So, in this first chapter, we had seen that how when there was no ruler, um, um, mm, Swayambhu Manu and his father, Lord Brahma, um, approached Priyavrata Maharaj in the forest, who was engaged in deep meditation, and requested him to come back and occupy the throne uh, and rule the kingdom. Priyavrata Maharaj did so, and he married. He had 2 wives, 13 sons, and 1 daughter he begot. Out of 13, 3 became the sannyasis, Another three became Manus, and the remaining seven sons became rulers of these seven islands of the Bhumandala. So before Maharaj Priyavrat, there were no division. It appears that there were no divisions. Um, and it was Priyavrata Maharaj with his chariot wheel, uh, you know, by constantly uh, moving, constantly, rotating. Um, he made ditches in the Bhumandala, and that's how these seven oceans are formed, and the seven islands are also formed that way. And after this, Priyavrat Maharaj, he gave up everything and again focused, um, you know, on bhakti, pure bhakti, went back to the spiritual world. Okay, so um, and now we'll move on to the next chapter. So I'll take a little bit of time to explain these first few chapters. Maybe in the next class we can move a little faster. So the second chapter is the activities of Maharaj Agnidra. So Bhagavatam describes the activities of the eldest son of Maharaj Priyavrata. Although there were other sons, seven other, yeah, altogether seven became rulers. But out of those seven, Bhagavatam describes only Agnitra, the eldest son of Maharaj Priyavrata, who became the ruler of the middle island, Jambudvipa. Okay, so you saw this picture, right? So we discussed about Jambudvipa in detail, but the center island um, is Jambudvipa. That's where we are also part of that Jambudvipa. We are part of that Jambudvipa. Hmm? So Maharaj Agnitra, the eldest son of Maharaj Priyavrata, he became the ruler of this Jambudvipa. Okay. So Maharaj Agnidra, um, so he um, desired to have a son. Therefore, he entered a cave in the Mandara mountain to practice austerity. So, understanding his desire, Lord Brahma uh, had sent a celestial girl named Purvachiti um, hmm, to the hermitage of Maharaj Agnitra, where he was practicing austerity. And there was a description about how Maharaj Agnitra got attracted to this celestial girl named Purvachiti. Um, but anyway, so at the end, Lord Brahma fulfilled his desire, okay, because he wanted to get married and have sons. So he got married to this celestial girl named Purvachiti, who was sent by Lord Brahma. Huh? And so he begot, in her womb, he begot nine sons. Hmm? Um, Nine sons. And the eldest was Nabhi. Huh? Um, so let me just go back to this. So you can see here the eldest son of Priyavrata Maharaj was Agnitra. And this chapter is quite short, second chapter. And so He got married to celestial girl named Purvachiti, and he begot 9 sons. Um, yeah, 9 sons. They got married to um, the daughters of Meru. uh. These 9 sons got married to the daughters of Meru, and the eldest son of Agnitra was King Nobi. Hmm? We're going to discuss about Nobi in the next chapter. But what happened to Agnidra? So Agnidra, after begetting 9 sons, um, Purvachiti left him. Hmm? So once they're grown up, she decided to leave. She went back to Lord Brahma's assembly because that's where she was serving Lord Brahma. So always after Purvachiti left him, he was always thinking of Purvachiti. So what happens? Whatever you think throughout your life, you will think the same thing at the time of your death. And whatever we think at the time of death, we will attain that state without a fail. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada sadbhava bhavita. So he was always thinking of Purvachiti. That's why he also went to the place where Purvachiti was residing. Mhm. Um, So that's the summary of second chapter. Which is entitled "The Activities of Maharaj Agnitra." Agnitra got married to Purvachiti, who was sent by Lord Brahma, and he begot 9 sons in her womb. After begetting 9 sons, and after they grown up, Purvachiti went back to Brahma's abode, and these 9 sons, they got married to the 9 daughters of Meru. Hmm? And Agnidra, always thinking of Purvachiti, in the planet where Purvachiti was serving Lord Brahma. So now we'll move on to the third chapter. Okay. So the so he had 9 sons. The 9 sons became rulers of 9 islands, nine actually not islands, uh, nine varshas of the Jambu Dvipa. So let me go back and tell me a little bit about it. So as I mentioned, Maharaj Agnitra was ruling this Jambu Dvipa, the center highland. So the Jambu Dvipa, I'll show you. This is Jambu Dvipa. This is Central Island. This is Jambu Dvipa. In other words, this is the Central Island. Who was ruling it? The eldest son of Maharaj Priyavrata, whose name was Agnidra. He was ruling it. And Agnidra, as I mentioned now, he had 9 sons. And then the 9 sons of Agnidra became rulers of these 9 islands. Not 9 varshas, 9 tracts of land. Hmm? So these actually, these um, varshas, or the tracts of land, were named after their his sons. Hmm? Um, okay, so um, now we going to who was the eldest son of Maharaj Agnitra? Nabhi. Yes. And does anybody know which island he was ruling? Not which tract of land he was ruling?
Bharatvarsha.
Jai. Very good. This is the one. Maharaj Nabi was ruling it. You see, it's interestingly, this one is called Bharatavarsha now. But before Bharatavarsha, when Nabi was ruling it, it was known as Nabi Varsha. Just as you can see Ranmaya Varsha, Hemakuta Varsha, sorry, yeah. So like that, Ketumala Varsha, Bhadrashva Varsha, so Ilavruta and Harivarsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, these are the names of the 9 sons of Maharaj Agnitra. But after, when Nabi was ruling it, this part of the this tract of land was known as Nabi Varsha. And then after Nabi, um, it was called Ajnaba Varsha when Rishabh Dev was ruling it. Okay. So we will discuss this. We'll come back to it. I don't want to confuse you. In the next 10 minutes, it will be clear. Okay. So just for time being, please remember that the southernmost tract of land was ruled by um, King Nabhi, the eldest son of Maharaj Agnitra. Okay. So King Nabhi was a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. Um, he also desired to have son, but he did not worship Lord Brahma. He decided to worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu. So he was a wonderful devotee, great devotee of the Lord. Um, and so there were priests chanting mantras and they were performing sacrifice. Nabi's wife, Meru Devi, was sitting next to him. And so they were all pure in their consciousness. Because of their purity and because of their devotion, Lord personally appeared in the sacrificial arena of King Nabhi, the eldest son of Maharaj Agnitra. Um, so when Lord Vishnu appeared there with his forehand in the four-handed feature, so they were the priests glorified him, and they were saying that actually we forgive me, oh my Lord, we conducted a sacrifice to have a material thing. Because Maharaj Nabi wants a son like you. So that's why for some material benefit, we are conducting this sacrifice. Please excuse me, please forgive us. We are fools because we are inviting you for this sacrifice, which is materially motivated. We need something from you. Rather than we want to serve you, we want something from you. We want, something in exchange of this sacrifice. This is materially motivated, my Lord. Please forgive us. And, and they say that King Nabi, he wanted a son like yourself. And Lord said, there is no one who can match me in. So that's why I will become the son of King Nabi and Meru Devi. So and he was very pleased with the Lord was very pleased with the sages and with King Nabi. And as a result of that, Lord decided to personally, appear to satisfy Maharaj Nabi. As a result of that, he became the son of Nabi and Meru Devi, and that is nothing but Rushabh Dev. Okay, so we'll this chapter is basically very very simple. Uh, King Nabi um, desiring to have a son like Lot, conducted a sacrifice, and Lord appeared in the sacrifice, and being pleased with the saintly people there, and being pleased with King Nabi, he agreed to become the son of King Nabi, and he appeared as Rushabh Dev. So that's the next chapter. Okay. Um, so Rushabha, um, um, Rushabh Dev was very beautiful. He had a beautiful, um, he was so beautiful, and he could influence the society. Everybody in the kingdom got attracted to him, and he possessed transcendental qualities. And the word Rushabha means to the best. uh, so it means actually the best. Mm. Um, and that's why Maharaj Nabi decided to name his son Rushabha. Mm. So meaning is the best of human beings. Um, Rushabh was sent to Gurukul, the school in those days, um, and where he got trained by his spiritual teachers. So, although you see that he was the supreme personality of Godhead, he sets an example for all of us. Um, even Krishna, Balaram, they went to the school of Sandipani Muni, and that's where they studied for some time. And so, showing that one must accept a spiritual teacher, a spiritual master, and learn from them. And Lord Rama accepted, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted. And sometimes in the temple, we see, or in devotees, sometimes, those new people who are coming to temple, they say that, why should I accept? I don't need a guru. I have Bhagavad Gita, I have Bhagavatam. Mm. But unless you accept a spiritual master and follow his instructions, worship him, unless we do this, that knowledge will not be able to transform us. Mm. So um, because he was so famous, Lord Rushabdev was so famous, everybody got so attracted. King Indra became envious of him, and so he was in charge of rains, and there were no rains. He decided not to send any rains because he was envious of Rushabdev. He was not supplying any rain. But Rushabdev, with his mystic potency, uh, and he created an atmosphere where there could be a rain, and so seeing this, Indra begged forgiveness from Rushabdev, and he gave Jayanti to Rushabdev, and Rushabdev got married to Jayanti. But that time, his father King Nabi and mother Meru Devi, uh, they decided to enthrone Rishabdev as the king, and then they left for the forest. You see the system here, like everybody, the kings in those days, they have this system, Raj Rishis, very saintly kings. They are not very much attached to the throne. They don't want to rule the kingdom forever. They give up, and then they spend their life in spirituality, fully in spirituality. Mm. So King Nabi and his wife Meru Devi, they left for the forest, um, and they were worshipping the Supreme Lord, and they went back to Godhead. But this sort of this is this principle was there, retiring fully. While being in the household life, they engage as much as possible in devotion, but at a certain time they try to renounce these activities and on fully focus on in devotion, conducting devotion, doing devotion more and more. So Rishabdev, he begot 100 sons. So, and the eldest was um, Bharat Maharaj. So here it is mentioned, out of these 100 sons, only 10 became the rulers of the world. 10 became kshatriyas, administrators. And what happened to the 90? Out of these 90, 9 became Mahabhagavatas. Mahabhagavatas means they are like Kumaras, four Kumaras. If you remember four Kumaras, they just, they are always engaged in um, engaged in thinking of the Lord, pure devotees. They are called Nava Yogendras. We will see that the discussion, they met Nimi, a king named Nimi, and they instructed Nimi in various ways. But the point is, um, so 10 became Kshatriyas, 9 became Mahabhagavatas. Hmm? Mahabhagavatas means pure devotees of the Lord. And the remaining 81, they became Brahmanas, um, who conduct various ritualistic activities. So the point here, although they were born by birth, they were kshatriyas. Kshatriya means belong to administrative class. But however, you see, by birth they belong to administrative class. But only 10 became administrators, rulers, and 9 became Mahabhagavatas, 81 became Brahmanas. So what does that means? That means one can become, the our quality, Krishna says that Gunakarma Vibhagashaha, based on our quality, our varna, our varna is decided. But if I'm son of a Brahman, say for example, if one is a son of a Brahman, but if that person doesn't possess Brahmanical qualities, then he's not called a Brahman. Or otherwise, in contrast, if a son of a Shudra laborer possesses qualities of a Brahman, that person is known as Brahman. So not birth doesn't decide the varna. the caste or yeah, but the quality decides. So Srila Prabhupada, he came to the West, and he attracted many of the Westerners. And by accepting his words, by following his instructions, uh, by engaging in the devotional service to Krishna, they became now gurus. They became super brahmanas. They became Mahabhagavatas. So our birth is not our birth, and our place where we born is not a matter. Like, I may take birth in India. What is the use if I'm not following it? I'm not practicing it. I may have external title, but if I don't practice it, I will not be able to benefit, isn't it? Hmm? So that is an important point that I wanted to mention from this. Um, and while touring the world with his 100 sons, Maharaj Rishabdev, Lord Rishabdev, he reached a place known as Brahmavarta. And there was a great conference of learned Brahmins going on at that place. And so that in that place, Rishabdev decided to address this assembly and instruct his 100 sons. Hmm? So he spoke in the assembly and he instructed his 100 sons. So um, this is a duty of a father or a parent. Parent means they should practice. Sometimes, they say, Prabhu, my son, my child is not practicing devotion or not reading this, not chanting, not coming to temple. But for that, what we have to do is we have to set an example for ourselves. Yeah. And even if we, yes, sometimes even if we practice devotion, our children may not do it. Leave it, don't worry. You try your bit, and leave the rest for Krishna. Okay. So mainly the children pick up the qualities from the parents in general. So that's why the parents need to set a good example for the children. Here you can see Lord Rishabdev. Hmm, um, uh, when King Nabi wanted a son, he approached, he worshipped the Supreme Lord. Um, and when Supreme Lord appeared as Rishabdev, then he is also teaching his children. He's educating them in the matter of spirituality. Hmm. So this is how this chapter ends. And if we go back and to that picture, I'll just take 1 minute and we'll end here. Let me go back to that Jambudvipa. So, oops, not this. Yeah. So initially, this southernmost tract of land was ruled by Nabi, and Nabi's son was that time it was called Nabi Varsha, and Nabi's son was Rishabdev. When Rishabdev was ruling it, it was called Ajnaba Varsha. Ajnaba Varsha means unborn son of Nabi. Ajnaba. Ajnaba means unborn son of Nabi. Who is the unborn son of Nabi? Rishabdev, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is unborn. He's although he has taken birth for our material vision, he is unborn. So this was called Ajnaba Varsha. Initially Nabi Varsha, then Ajnaba Varsha when Rishabdev was ruling it, After Rishabdev, the eldest son of Rishabdev was Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, when Bharat was ruling it, it was called Bharatavarsha. So currently it is known as Bharatavarsha. Okay. Um, okay, so to sum up what we have discussed today, so Priyavrata Maharaj was requested by his father, Swayambhu Manu, and his godfather, Lord Brahma, to come back from the forest and rule the kingdom. So he accepted that. Priyavrata Maharaj accepted that wonderful service. And basically he accepted the service to please Krishna. So he did that service as an offering to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He married 2 wives, begot 13 sons and 1 daughter. Out of 13, 3 became Manus, 3 became sannyasis, and the remaining 7 became the rulers of the 7 islands of this Bhumandala. Initially, Bhumandala was, there were no division. There appeared to be no division. It was Maharaj Priyavrata who made the Bhumandala into 7 oceans and 7 islands. So 7 sons became the rulers of 7 islands. The centermost island was known as Jambudvipa, was ruled by the eldest son of Maharaj Priyavrata, whose name was Agnidra. Agnidra got married to Purvachiti, celestial girl, and he begot 9 sons. And eldest was King Nabhi. So these 9 sons of Maharaj Agnidra became rulers of the 9 tracts of lands within the centermost island known as Jambudvipa. So Maharaj Nabi, the eldest son of Agnidra, to beget a son, he worshipped the Supreme Lord through sacrifice by the help of Brahmanas. Lord appeared and Lord became his son, and he appeared as Rishabdev. And after Rishabdev was born, Nabi and his wife Meru Devi left for the forest to perform, to undergo more and more devotion. Rishabdev begot 100 sons in the womb of Jayanti, and out of these 100, 10 became Kshatriyas, or the administrators, and 9 of them became Mahabhagavatas. 81 of those became the Brahmanas, who perform ritualistic ceremonies, etc. And Rishabdev, while touring with these 100 sons, the eldest son of Rishabdev was Bharat Maharaj. And so while touring, they came to a place known as Brahmavarta, where there was an assembly of saintly people, Brahmanas, were taking place. In that assembly, Lord Rishabdev decided to speak and instruct his 100 sons. So those instructions will be discussed in the next chapter. Okay, so I'll have to stop there. Any questions or any comments? I hope that's clear, I guess.
It was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Too many names to remember, right?
It was good how you carried it through. It really helped a lot. I'm not saying I remember it all, but it's definitely logged a lot more into my mind. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Amsini Mataji. Thank you for your comments. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.